games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is.
Boom.
Locky, sir, the infamous moment where we pretend that we've not been talking for 10 minutes at the beginning of each video. And I mention it every time, but it feels like it does need an introduction, doesn't it, whenever we do go live. So, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Enjoying some peace and quiet. Hopefully my girlfriend's watching. But yeah, I'm good.
You've had an eventful couple of weeks.
I have. My body's been done more exercise in the last 2 weeks than it has in the last 9 months, I think.
Been put through the ringer.
Did charity match, didn't we?
Yeah.
Then did peaks other day. That was fun. So,
yeah. A long day.
A lot of blisters.
Yeah, I'm not a walker. I'm not a runner either, to be fair. I'm not, but I'm. How difficult genuinely is it 3 peaks? Like, I know obviously it's hard. I'm not, but
you know what,
is it rough terrain or what?
Yeah, footwear's no matter what footwear. I had walking boots on. I borrowed my brother's walking boots because I've just got running shoes, so I was screwed. But I borrowed his, and I had 6 blisters at the end of it, big ones as well. 3 or 4 of them were massive. So with this stuff, I don't know what do you wear on your feet. I had the perfect footwear, and it still worked good enough.
Yeah, I don't. Are you meant to wear it in or something? I don't know. Would it be?
Yeah, maybe. But
you don't really get them with footy boots, though, do you? Once you know what you're doing with them, I bet it's just the same thing.
Yeah, it was all right. Like the walking's not in a weird way. It's not the walking that does you. It's the equipment you don't have, or like food, water, boots, stuff like that. That's what did me. Because once you go in, mate, you just walk in, then you have your second, third wind. You kind of just going for it, to be honest. Hardest bit would start. When I got about halfway up first bit, I were almost done. I can't do this. Then you just get in flow then, and you just go in then.
Yeah. You must kick into a bit of like, come on, now, I've definitely got more in tank than that. I can do more than half. If I'm here to do all 3, I can do more than half.
It's when you do 1, and then you look at other 2 in distance. You're thinking, Yorkshire's massive. I've got to do them 2 as well.
Yeah. Or can you literally see them? Yeah, as you go in. Then is that what it is? Yeah. Oh, that is frightening.
Well, we did. I don't know if it's called. Some people might know it's called Penny Gent. Now it's shortest one, but some of it you're climbing. You've got to climb at top.
Yeah.
So you've done all walking, and you've got these rocks. You've got to get up. Kills you, but weather were all right, which helps.
Yeah.
If it's quite warm and then it a little bit cloudy, so quite. But all right, mate. Yeah.
We'll be doing it again, do you reckon?
Nah, we're gonna do. We're gonna go to lakes next time and make like a weekend of it, so we can actually have a good time around the walking. It's just
instead of just putting yourself
3 a.m. Yeah. So done that now.
Yeah, because it is a good getaway, like you say. If you combine it with going out a bit at night and chilling out, and rather than like you say just going through this awful task and then trying to get home afterwards.
Yeah, that were it. Well, I don't drive. My mate Tom does like an hour and a half drive afterwards. Horrid. Got up at 3 a.m. 3 a.m.
I think there's more of a task in traveling as well. Like, you've really put yourself. It's like a day from hell. That
it is, especially when you get up especially when you have to change your route because you don't finish it and you're 2 hours away from your car.
I wasn't going to mention the fact it won't completed, Locky, but it's not down to you. I've heard though. You did 2.5.
No, of course not, Jack. Come on. I have to make that clear. It worked out to me. But I don't know if I'd have done it, to be fair. My blisters were dead, but my legs were all right. But we ended up doing, I reckon, because of when we came back, we went up halfway and came back down. So we did the same distance, probably more. We had to walk on road afterwards as well. So we probably did more. That's the thing. Could have done it.
Over completed. You're on that percentile, like 120% completed.
Overdid it, mate. That's what we do. Bit extra. 3.5 peaks.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, nice one. That's good, locking. You enjoyed footy a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, how were you? Probably know the answer, but it was a good day, wasn't it?
Mate. Yeah, really good. Apart from looking at how fat I've got, but apart from that, yeah.
Honestly, man, I think it's rare that you sort of get filmed in it when you're knocking a footy about. Because I can't, I look like right gangly, like I'm like a bloody. I didn't even know I run like that or anything. I'm look like I'm like grabbing air to try get somewhere. It's mental. But I can't. I've not even watched. I can't even watch it. I'm like, I've watched about minutes of it. I'm like, I can't do anymore.
Played a bit at uni. Them games got filmed. That was about about a year ago. I was comparing the two. Jesus.
It also doesn't help, dude, when it's torrential rain and your body's completely exposed because, my shirt was just stuck to every wrinkle I've got on my body, wasn't it? It was so wet, wasn't it?
Mate, and I have to keep saying this because I have to. We're not midfielders either, you know what I mean? So we got put in there. We were giving it big and go, we'll be all right in there. And then suddenly you're like, where are we going here? What's going on? And we're just running up and down. And then Sanchez came in and calmed us down a bit, and then we're all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did calm down. Yeah, we were just pinging ball too much as well. It's that I just wanted to get on ball a little bit, get a couple of touches and see what's what. But it were, again, when it starts pelting it down, and it's just getting clipped about all over the shop, isn't it? It was a bit of a scrambly game, but we did get into game, didn't we? To be fair, it's sort of, like you say, when Sanchez came on about 15, 20 minutes in, we got hold at ball a little bit more, and I thought we were on top till end at first half, and then
smashed it, didn't we? I enjoyed it, man. It was a great day. Everyone was in.
Goal from your man as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. People, I got loads of Andrea put it up, didn't he? And everyone was saying, "Oh, what's keeper do?" He's like, "Come on, if you don't shoot, you don't score." You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you looked at what keeper on, and you had a ding, didn't you? It's like
I don't usually shoot. That's what I keep saying. I don't usually shoot. I'd have passed that. Lloyd were on my left, wasn't he? So I'd have probably give that to him, but I just saw, just gonna hit it and see what happens. And it went in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was mint. I had perfect view of it again. Seem to get perfect view of every single one of your shots, even in training. To be fair, Locky.
Yours were close, Jack.
It is what it is, and to be honest, I was
so close.
Normally, I'm just like, it is what it is, but I did want a goal really. So when I hit it, I thought, and it feels good when you've struck it.
Yeah.
But no dice.
I went, get in. It just went wide. Oh no!
I were on tiptoes, like willing it in, but it was what it was, wasn't it? But it was a good day, wasn't it? And then we went out for some beers, didn't we, afterwards?
Yeah, I went out. We're in some places with my football kit and my backpack on.
Yeah, we were carrying bags around.
I wore the same stuff for the peaks.
Did you? Yeah. Get in. Yeah. Did you go clubbing after peaks with it all as well? Like, I've done it before, I'll do it again.
I shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how did that happen? How were I allowed in with you, Jack?
They were fine with everything, weren't they? We were all like, we all had bags on us and that. Nobody got checked what were in bags or all, did they? But I mean, all lasses were tripping over bags, weren't they, at bar and stuff that were embarrassing. I had this big bag as well, that big dumb kit bag.
Put them next to bar and someone stacked it over.
I know.
Behind bar. Can we put them behind there?
Yeah, I know. I distanced myself from the bag when that happened. I was like, I'm just going to pretend that's not my bag for a minute until they get back up. And then when I realise they're not hurt, I can reclaim my bag. But yeah.
No, that was good though. I enjoyed that. Really good time, yeah, to be fair. Apart from last hour where I was stone sober, I was just kind of stood there. Half asleep. I put shades on, didn't I?
Yeah.
Good time.
But yeah. So it's been a good couple of weeks. So it's good to have you back on as well, Locky. Because I've not been going live with anybody, as everybody's giving me shit for. I've been like, "Where's Alt Lives gone? Where's Alt getting Locky on and that?" And I'm like, "We'll be back on board, don't worry."
Yeah.
So we are back. But might as well start on your man. It's unfortunate that it's not happened. Obviously, he's going to Marseille. And I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the best I can do is like Paxo, anywhere near.
Yeah, Pai Xiao, I think.
Pai Xiao. That's what it. Pai Xiao.
Anyway.
Yeah, but
it's probably different depending on what part of the country you're from or something. Not like here where everything's same.
That's how I get away with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gutted out your Locky because, to be fair, you've been on about him for a bit. And I just watched your video on Wingers, which I strongly suggest everybody goes checks out because it's a mint video. That was just like with some alternative options, isn't they, on there? But you did have to say right at the start it would have been like a proper scoop, wouldn't it? That so.
Yeah, it's what it is, mate. It's one of them. I always said as well on streams. I said it on Joe's as well. There were always something. I just didn't think. I just always thought something had happened. I just felt like I didn't think it was Marseille. I think someone else had sweep in at ending last minute. But it was Marseille, obviously, who came back. It's what it is. You know, can't have nice things, mate. So I don't care. It's what it is. Yeah, that's his choice, in it. It's what it is. It's disappointing, but like you said, there's loads more options. He's so good though. He's quality, man. Leeds fans would have loved him as well because he plays with like proper like heart on the sleeve as well. So,
it's just lifting crowd, isn't it, when they're on ball? I always think when you've got a proper baller, you know, like when every time Rafinha were on ball and stuff, and to some extent Rutter in Championship, it's like it just lifts people. It's like, oh, you know that something exciting is potentially going to happen. You know, it's like, and it does help. You know, when the Brazilian and stuff, it just does help, doesn't it? Because you know they've got something wild in the locker. Most of them don't. They like wingers particularly and stuff. So it is a shame, but we didn't have him. It's not like we had him and lost. Do you know what I mean? He's not here, so it just.
Yeah, it was very greedy, which didn't always work out in his favour. But like you said, that we love that though. When players a bit selfish, just takes a few on. It's one in top corner. I know Joe don't like it. I'm watching Joe's streams when we're like, pass it. You don't pass it. Joe loves someone who passes it, doesn't he? Does Joe? But yeah, greedy player. So Joe debated him. To be fair, but shame. That is what it is.
Yeah, but there'll be a contingency plan. I mean, we've been looking at. I've not even overly gone over it today because there's that many players coming out at woodwork constantly. It's just like I can't even keep up with it. So it's all tosh, in it. But one thing I found exciting, Locky, were like obviously they're up for putting some big money down for anybody that they really think they can attract. You know, like a top player like that. So because 35 million, it'd be a club record, wouldn't it? So they're in the market for a big spend, because I was worried that that's the only thing we'd do. We'd do a Rodrigo and spend a 30 million and then not really get much else in. Whereas we started the right way around, and then we've still looked like we can put a big wedge of money down for somebody. So
yeah, 100%. That's it with these lot. Like, I know we always say it, though. I know me and you are big on them as well. Like, they don't want to be back in Championship. They have no intention. They will. I'm convinced they'd do anything, even tinkering with some rules to stay in this league. Like, this is everything to them, right? Like, you know, they've invested a lot of years into this before they even took over, planning, preparing. They even said, like, the reason we didn't spend it in January is so we could do it when we came up. You know, they cared about the Premier League. That's their big thing. That's how they make their money. It's in the Prem. They want to make Leeds this big European giant again. So they will spend if they think a player is good enough, 100%. No doubt about that. So, yeah, that excites me. I know people have the problems with the 49ers, and I have some issues with some stuff, but it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. I think they're pretty decent owners who, if a player's good enough, they think they'll spend and they'll be competitive to try to get him. So there'll be more, mate, 100%. We've got the money there.
Yeah, and what I don't know, anybody that doesn't sort of like it, I don't really know what they've done wrong. I know people are banging on about stand or whatever when they're changing stuff like that, but yeah, you have to accept a bit of the yin and yang, don't you? You can't just everybody wants everything, don't they? And I understand it as a fan, but it's instant to like I always feel like it's instant to outrage rather than just like, well, in fairness, they've done that. We did everything, for instance, to get Paisha, or however he says his name. I feel like they did everything to get him. Yeah. It's not like, and everybody was saying, "Oh, just blow Marseille out of water," but there was something going on, wasn't there? I don't really, because Fabinho, however you say his name, Romanio, however you say his name, he was doing the here we go for Leeds, wasn't he? 5 hours prior or whatever it was, and then later that day, where he's off to Marseille. It's like, so what? I mean, I know you're not obviously literally on the inside, but what do you think's gone on?
Yeah, what I found weird was through it all, even when we were told that he likes the idea of Leeds, it was still like, I know it's thinking, but it was still liking Marseille training posts, like all their Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Like, he clearly wanted them. Now, what I think happened is he was in Brazil with his family. I think it was his representatives that were working on the deal and stuff like that. Now, it's no coincidence to me that the day he left Brazil and came back to his club, that's when it got thingied that he's got to Marseille. So I
Mm.
feel like it was his decision once they met the price. He went, yeah, I want to go to Marseille, that's his decision. What can you do? He don't want
Yeah.
to come to Leeds. He wants to play in Marseille. He wants to play in Champions League, probably. You know, he thinks that's the best way for him to get to the Brazil squad or whatever. That's what can you do? You know, this is it. This is football, mate. Sometimes you lose out. We got people like Stack who has been linked with a lot of big clubs in the last 12 months. He's at our club. We managed to get him. Biol as well, quality player. You know, these type of guys were easy to get, I'm sure. I'm sure they'd be difficult. This one, unfortunately, you've just got a player who's probably not that bothered about the Premier League and wants to play in Champions League and
Yeah.
play in France, in the sunny side of France. So you can't
And
do all, can you, to be fair?
they finished second, didn't they, last year? That, you know, and PSG
Yeah.
basically win the league. So finishing second is basically first, isn't it, in that league? So
Yeah.
you know, it's I get it. I'd obviously think I'd want to play in Premier League for Leeds United, but it's not. I'm not just looking for what out best for me as a Brazilian lad. Do you know what I mean? I just never understand why people always think Leeds are. I think we're the biggest club in the world, but I just know we're not. Do you know what I mean? So it's like there's no competition with Leeds and Marseille for me, and like where we can go. But does he want to risk that journey right now and stuff? It's just like there's many things in there for him to sort of take on. He's definitely not going to go backwards at Marseille, is he?
No,
Whereas there is a chance
really
that Leeds he does. He could, but I think Leeds propel him further into like Rafinha levels if he does
100%.
well. The Premier League, that's what it does. It pushes you on. But at Marseille, there's also a risk at Leeds that we're shit next year and he doesn't get any game time or he gets injured and then never really play. Do you know what I mean? It could all go Sinistera with him, couldn't it? And nothing really happens for him. So it's
exactly it's choice, isn't it? He's not, like you say, he's not a Leeds fan. Some people have different dreams, different choices, different what they want to do. You know, someone like Rafinha knew the Premier League was where he needs to go to get to Barcelona. He did that through us. He put everything into it. It was mint for 2 years. I didn't want to do that.
Is he as aggressive as Rafinha, Locky, would you say? Because there's like oh really? Yeah.
I'd say so.
Oh, well, that is gutting then. Because
what I will
Rafinha
say
had that edge to him, didn't he? I know he wasn't into tackles, but he's got that like elite level of like he's playing. Do you know what I mean?
Mindset.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's as consistent as him. Like I said this on Joe's before we didn't get him. If anyone says I'm salty, he was very greedy. There was games where he got back pocketed by poor Eredivisie fullbacks, but there's also games where he tore Champions League fullbacks apart. That's the type of player he was. On his day, he was unplayable, genuinely unplayable. But you could tell early on if it was going to be that day or not.
Yeah.
But that was a downside to him. But the upside was when he were on it, which was probably most of the time, about a handful. He was really good. But yeah, Rafinha was more consistent. I think he was just different gravy. He was very good though. He's absolutely good. He's not joining, but it is what it is. You know, there's plenty more options. Good luck to him to some extent.
And yeah, well, that's what I always say. Good luck to him, and then after like caveat it with like, you know, I mean good looks. I just mean that for any young lad like trying to make the way in football. Like I don't actually mean like I really want you to go and do well, lad. Like it can do, it's fine. I won't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? It'll just be another near miss or whatever, but that we've just missed out on a decent player. But I'm just also happy that we're in the market for these players, Locky, because it is surprising. I know he got injured, and a lot was said about the fact that that's potentially the reason why, one of the main reasons why he might have been able to bring him in. But you've got to catch these players at the right time, haven't you? Because if he's already got his move to Marseille, say last year or wherever he wants to go the year before, and we just come up, but you've got to catch these players at the perfect time, haven't you? So it's hard to be in the market for like the top talents, really, isn't it? Because it's all about timing as well.
It is. It's hard. That is that good. I was actually shocked. There weren't more bigger teams. I know Marseille are a decent sized club, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're not top, are they? Obviously, they finished second, so you can.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
but do you know what I mean? Like a Dortmund or even like I don't know, Spurs, Chelsea.
just more renowned. Club.
That's what I was quite shocked at. To be fair, I'm surprised we were actually that close. I thought there'd be even like I know. Like when Brentford sold Mbuemo, I'm thinking, that'd be, one for them or like a Brighton or something like that. But Yeah, maybe, like I said, there is an inconsistency there at times, so maybe that's why they didn't want to risk it for the price. I don't know. I'm good though, so it's not what I can do about it.
Yeah. But like you said, that there is plenty of other options, isn't there, which is extensively said in your video. So there was another Brazilian one that you mentioned in your video, Luis Enrique, who I'm not going to pretend to know much about. So I don't know if you want to talk about any players that you really fancy or.
Yeah, Luis Enrique, unbelievable footballer.
Just swap us to a Brazilian again. That's
Brazilian,
why I also, when you said he was one of the more exciting ones, I thought he's Brazilian as well. That'd be a right touch.
I didn't know him loads until about, well, you know, Oscar, our nightclub buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
What a guy. He told me about him a few days ago. He came through at Botafogo, I think, and he went to Spain, and he went weird move to Zenit. I still don't know why that happened, but he still plays for Brazil. He still gets called up. Played in Russia. It's really weird. So he's one for me. He's a joke. He's pure Brazilian in the way he plays. He's an absolute joke. He'd be one that I'd absolutely love. Alan as well. There's another Brazilian who plays at Shakhtar. There's two Brazilians there that I still think could do a great job. I don't know whether we can get them. I'm not saying we could. I'm just some players there that I think maybe, but yeah.
And because you said that, I thought it was interesting. You was saying about Enrique because his stats aren't necessarily like mind blowing, are they?
No,
is it Enrique? But that's not the point. Is it? It's about getting a player that, hopefully, you know, in a Farka system or whatever, if you're playing towards the player's strengths, because you're suggesting that maybe Zenit aren't playing towards his strengths.
Yeah. Well, speaking to Oscar as well, and he said Celta Vigo, Betis, which is where he was at in Spain, they didn't either. They didn't really use him that well. Went to Zenit, they don't really use him that well. It's weird move for me that. I don't know why he did it, to be honest. But probably a lot of money in it. Probably got a good wage. But yeah, I think we would. They don't create in wide areas. Well, that's what we do. Our wingers are the creative ones, aren't they? Our middle ones are quite the industrial kind of hard workers, whereas our wide players and our fullbacks are the what I can just see him in my head, mate. Just him and Bogle just tearing up down that side.
Yeah,
just megs and constant megs and all that just for days. So yeah,
well, Bogle's got a bit of Brazilian in him, hasn't he, when he's on ball?
Yeah, he must be half Brazilian in quality. I just imagine him down there, man. That'd be deadly. It really would. But I love a play like that. Can't get Paixão, get another Brazilian. There's loads out there.
Yeah. And it is, I think, the diamond in the rough as well, aren't they? In a side, you know, when you do just come up, it was perfect for Rafinha, really, because it is like potentially stepping stone for these players, and it's just like you sort of need to come in at that level. Sometimes you can go in at the top level, can't you? And it's not. There's a lot of top players hanging around, isn't there? And they're all decent. I mean, not that any Premier League player is decent. I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying when you're trying to break through or really make a name for yourself, if the team's sort of built around you. When Somerville put them crazy numbers together in Championship, we all said, but we're too reliant on him. But there's not a lot you can do about it when you clearly your best player gets the results, doesn't he? So just by accident, you keep going to him, giving him like you're fueling him constantly, aren't you? But if you're playing with top players, you're getting less at ball, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, that's it, mate. That's what teams do. You know, we saw it at charity game. We knew how to get in behind them. So that's what we kept doing. And it worked.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what teams do. If Somerville was the way forward, you give it him. That's just how it works. Football. It's what I always say, mate, about footballers. They're not coaches. They don't look at the game. Well, some do, obviously, but most just look at it as just playing football. You know, they just want to give it to the best player and let him do stuff. That's what they do. That's footballers for you. But yeah, that's what we did with Somerville. We went quite direct with him. It was about him, right? That works. Give it him. He'll do it. Whereas, like I said, in Prem, it's not going to be that simple. We need a lot of players, and that's why I like our recruitment. I think we've got a lot of players who can cause damage. I think Nonto's looked outstanding in pre-season.
That finish, man, edge at box, man. That's
what annoys me about him. Oh, he could have been ridiculous in the Championship every week. Why wasn't he? Annoys me that.
Do you think, Locky, because it got me thinking when you said about the style of play for these lads that you were looking at as well, and like I honestly think Nonto will be mint in the Prem next year, and I don't know whether it's just I'm just sort of doing it, but we're not going to be really possession based, are we? Where there's like we've got the highlight, they've got a low block or whatever, and we're trying to break them down, which is a lot of the Championship. We're going to be breaking on teams out, and Bogle's going to be flying forward, and James is going to have so much room in behind and stuff. And I feel the same for Nonto. I feel like they'll get less. The opposition will be less worried about him as well. I think the same for Peru. I think he'll have more time. He'll be able to drop in pockets a little bit more, and centre back won't be thinking, where is he? Do you know what I mean? It's like other teams will be more focused on what they're doing rather than what we're doing. You know, it won't just be a stop Leeds, will it? It'll be they're trying to implement their game. It'll hopefully free us up a little bit, because Nonto in parts is
great,
unreal, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, we're not the big dogs anymore, are we? We're not going into every game knowing what's going to happen. That was what kind of happened in Championship. You knew every game. We're going to have more
the same game on repeat, wasn't it?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, apart from maybe once or twice in season, it was literally the same thing. So that's not going to happen. I still think there will be. I think a lot of our fan base are kind of over-egging how much the ball will have. I still think we'll play that way. That is Farker. That is what he's not just going to change everything. But I think he'll accept that there will be games where we need to set up if we don't have the ball. We need to be more deadly on counter-attacks. And that is where, you know, players like Nonto, Dan James, like I said, Perot, just quick 1-2s, even Mecha. That's why I like Mecha, mate. He's so effective on counters. He's so good with the ball, just holding it up and running behind. But that's why I really want to Pai Shah, because he'd be a killer in that. He'd be so good at that. He really would. But I like the fact that it's kind of like every game will be different, and we will need different players to do different things. There'll be games where we can have Tanaka and Ampadu in midfield. There'll be games where we'll play a midfield 3 or a midfield 2. With maybe Aronson in some games, if we need to press really high, might work. With Ampadu and Stack behind him, do you know what I mean? There'll be games where it's Tanaka and Langstaff. Like, we've got options, and this is what I'm excited to see, all the different kind of options that we've got in there. Perot, it could be Perot, Mecha, the new lads. Yeah, man.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned Aronson, man, because there's an idea that he's just not going to get. He's just so unuseful, and I know it frustrates the fan base. But I'm telling you now, in moments in this season, he will be useful. He's busy. He's a nightmare. He's not going to murder anybody on the ball. Granted, he's not going to chop it open necessarily, but he's definitely. I know I say it quite a lot about players, but he's not going to let you down. And sometimes you just want players that are on pitch that you just think, I know exactly what I'm getting at you. I want you to go out and do a job for me today. Do you know what I mean? Like, not for me, evidently, but Farker will be like, this is your job today. And Aronson will just go out and do as he's told you. I mean, he's not going to go wandering off. I bet he's quite a disciplined player. He seems to be in the way he presses and stuff. I meant as well, Locky, with the possession. I agree fully. I don't think Farker is going to want the possession, because he definitely is. I just think we're just going to be up against it, and we're going to have the chance to break, which is what we didn't have in the Championship. We're going to have players to be able to fly forward, which is why it's exciting when, you know, I mean, just James actually having the opportunity from the halfway line to set off with Bogle on the ball. It's crazy, because left back just can't do anything. No. If left back comes to Bogle, he's got the easiest pass on in world on, James is in. And if not, he just tracks James and Bogle carries it. And Bogle's brilliant on ball as well. So that's exciting down that side. I'm hoping Goodmanson can do the same, but Goodmanson looks like a player, doesn't he? He looks like he's good on ball and stuff.
Yeah. I always said with this team, last 2 years, to be fair, I know we hadn't had, like you said, we hadn't had a lot of time to counter because we usually dominate. But when we do, we look serious. We look so good. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't remember who it was against. I think it might have been, we did it 2 or 3 times against Huddersfield and scored 3 goals. Like, with just Somerville and Rutter just constantly just winning that ball back. And Dan James, like you said, how many goals has he got from counters? Like, when we do it, we look seriously good. And if you add to that as well, like you say, Goodmanson, what Goodmanson is good at is getting forward quickly. He strides where he's like, he gets forward quick in a straight line. He just goes, doesn't he? So, yeah, I'm looking for. I like that kind of football. I'm not a big fan of possession. Obviously, I like us to dominate, but I love kind of just quick attacks where you just get forward quick and everyone's just running, everyone's just sprinting forward. It gets you going, doesn't it? So I'm looking forward to that side of it. To be fair, I really am. Yeah. It's
threatening football, isn't it? It feels like it can pop at any moment, can't it? And I know Man City do, because they play at a certain pace and then they turn it on. and then within 5-6 seconds, it's a totally different game. Do you know what I mean? They've cut through. I know they turned the pace up, but it's not as like, like Klopp when he first got it. It was just like, Jesus Christ, they're just going here. It's just like non-stop, just set off, get everybody forward. That's what it looks like. I know that's not what it is. It's a lot more structured than that, but I do think we'll be like, that's why I'm hoping we go 4-3-3, because I just think it really enables us to feel like you're doing that, even when you've still got like a really solid foundation, the three in middle.
And that's where I mentioned Aronson again. Whatever his role is this year, and obviously it will be much less than last year. I think we can all say that. In a three, in a certain situation in a game, like I said, if you've got a Stack and an Ampadu behind him, and he's not necessarily there to finish the attack off, which he did struggle with last year, he can be really effective in there with them two around him. Them two with his physicality, he's there running. That would work in certain instances next year, where people like it or not, that would work, because his physical output is class. He will press teams to death, that's for sure. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate. I think it's going to be really hard. Obviously, I still think that, but it's just going to be fun at times. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping. Like, they could all be melts and just not be physical. They're all massive. They could all be terrible and not physical and be a bunch of fannies. But I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. I'm hoping anyway. I believe in them, is what I'm saying, and so I hope they don't let me down.
Yeah, I think they've got it right, and it's not just a big man thing, is it? Like you say, it's not just Goodmanson looks like a bit of a beast to me. Looks like a bit of. I mean, we thought that about Christensen, to be fair. And I know everybody goes on about Christensen, that he's gone off and done well, but he was brought here as like this Viking bloke, wasn't he? And he definitely won that. But Goodmanson looks like he's big framed, and when he gets forward, like you say, he doesn't look like he's rapid or all, but just when he gets moving, it's like he's going. There's no stopping him, type of thing. And I know Longstaff's exactly the same. Stack's a big beast. Tanaka is brilliant on the ball, but does have that side to him. He can sit. He could sit in a three if we're up against it. That's what's so mint about that potential. Any version of the three is Tanaka can do it as well, but have the ability to get forward on the ball. Like he's so mint on ball. And Gruev's looked decent as well. Look, he's got loads of minutes as well. He's giving loads of minutes.
Underappreciated this preseason, as usual. He's looked very good. Our Tanaka's look ridiculous, hasn't he? In my opinion.
Yeah. It's exciting in middle, man. I don't know how he's going to go about it with them. Like you said, just got so many options. Three in middle. Do you think he'll go three in middle, or do you think he'll go back to two with 10? Or do you think he'll switch it up?
I hope he goes three. I hope he does. Because I actually think in Prem, given we've got midfielders in, I think three would work for Aronson in terms of when he comes on and affects the game. I think that'll be better for him as well. I do think that. So I think they all kind of work in there. Whereas if we go for the 2 and then the 10, Aronson's the only one really that can fit that role still. So that's another problem. I just think you need to pack that midfield, mate. I think the gap between the front and the midfield needs to be really tight. And one thing that we didn't really see last year was, because we had so much of the ball, we didn't really get exposed through midfield. But when we did, and we did sometimes, you could tell that 10 was a little high up. There's a little bit too much space in there. And as much as I love, it was what mainly Gruev and Ampadu were injured or at centre back. It was what Rothwell and Tanaka won it, or Gruev. There were times where big players would just pop in between them, and then they couldn't really deal with them. Whereas if you've got a big guy in Stack or Longstaff in there that can read the game, and you just got two around, just buzzing around, whether that's Ampadu, Tanaka, Gruev, Aronson, it just works for me.
You've only got to slow it down, haven't you? The first player has only got to be the presence, and then the other can be around, can't they? Literally like bees, around and I want to pick up scraps.
It's just me, but I'm loving Mecha. I absolutely love him. Do you know, last year Bamford did it at the end, but we didn't have a presence in terms of, I'm just going to boot it long. Who's going to be there? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's always there, no matter what. Just boot it long. He's there. He'll win a foul. He'll hold it up. He'll take his man on. He'll bring someone into play. Perot was good at that in the final third. If you give it him in the final third.
Yeah.
But actual, like, an outlet.
Yeah.
He's there in it every time. I love him, mate. I think he's quality.
Yeah. Who do you think he'll go with up top?
I I think we'll bring someone in. I think that guy.
Do you think whoever we bring in will go?
Yeah.
Do you?
I don't know when we'll do it though. That's the thing. The first game of the season, I don't think it's not looking like we'll get someone. I've got a feeling it might go Metcha. Just for that first game to just be really physical potential. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I know that's
Perot's look mint. Perot's look mint.
He looks a bit. I don't know whether 4-3-3 suits him. We've looked to me when we've been playing 4-3-3. It's been whoever's been on wing because they've all looked decent. Like Ramazani's looked decent on ball as he always does. He's effective on ball and he looks sharp. They've all looked good, but they've been quite narrow. And Peru's been able to get in the 10 role that he's previously been playing. But there's nobody in his way, so it's like he's finding a pocket of space where he's actually got a lot more time on ball. So I don't know whether it suits him a little bit to have just runners in behind because James and Nonto or James and Ramazani, whoever's been playing out wide, have just gone in behind immediately, and it's freed Peru up, and that's I don't know whether that helps him. So, and he does have a decent touch and stuff. Does Peru? I know he gets loads of shit for being cumbersome or whatever, but and he's so much different to the Metcha. So I agree with you. I can't. I never think there'll be that many changes. To be honest, first game of season, I just don't think it's
True.
a way that they go with it. I think they don't like to chop it up too much. There'll be certains that come in, players that are just on another level that will come straight into the side. But, I mean, he didn't start straight away with Tanaka or all, did he? And Tanaka's clearly,
that's true.
The best centre midfielder we had at the club last year. So,
my only thing with Metcha, though, I think Farker always wanted that type of player.
Yeah.
He had it in, he thought he had it in Joseph. And then he dropped off, didn't he? He thought he had it in Bamford, who was always injured. Now he's got it, and he came in very early. That's my kind of thing with Metcha. Is a week on it. It weren't long.
No,
and he got it done quietly and quickly. So,
first one, the Metcha.
Yeah, first one. Yeah, and there was no rumours at all with it. It was just done. Just done. And so I get it. Yeah, I agree though. I agree in terms of it won't change too much. I think obviously Biol can't play because of his red card, which is
daft.
So that'll be Strauch and Rodon. Back four, obviously Firpo's not there, so it'll be probably Goodmanson, you're assuming, and Bogle. So that'll be similar. Midfield could be Tanaka Rampadu, could be Stack, could be Longstaff. Who knows in there? What do you reckon in midfield first game?
Well, he might have the benefit of having three there though, might he? So he might be able to get one of them in.
Yeah.
But I think he definitely goes with Ampadu. I honestly do. I think that Ampadu's certain. I can't imagine a world where Tanaka doesn't play. That's the madness. You just want to see him in Prem as well. So it's, but and Everton's one of the type of teams that we should be. I know nobody likes hearing this as though it's then I'm saying that the first game is the most important game or whatever. But Everton's a type of team that it's a good starting fixture in it to have a proper look. So I think if it were Ampadu, Tanaka, and then Stack or Longstaff, really, it might sort of make its decision for him. I mean, I don't know. I personally would. I'd love Longstaff. I don't know enough about Stack, you see, but I'd love Longstaff, Ampadu, and Tanaka. I just think that's a mint three because I think Ampadu and Longstaff will do all the proper, dirty, hard stuff. Not that Tanaka won't do it because he's shown that he will, but it just gives him a little bit more freedom to just push on just a little bit into 8 as opposed to a 10. And it just gives him a bit of freedom.
Yeah, 100%. It's the Moyes factor as well, isn't it? Experience, Premier League, like real experience. You'll know Moyes will come there to battle and fight,
Yeah.
So Longstaff with that experience is key. So that could be one. I love it. The fact that we can have this conversation about who's going to start in midfield and all the players we're naming, like, he could do a job, he could do a job, he could do a job.
There's no rendition or whatever the word would be of them three that I'd be really like, that's bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's mint.
And if it's a 2, I really don't know who gets in because that'll be a mess if it's a 2 most of the time.
Can't be a 2, surely. There's too many for a 2.
There is too many of them. Unless the start, I mean, Gruev's sort of obviously further down pecking order, but if he gets moved on, then you potentially think we're back to a 2. But at the moment, I do think it's a 3. But 5 of them, haven't we?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the thing for me, especially with Metcha. I know Piro's done it really well as well. But with Metcha, when you do play a 3, I know, like I said, Piro's done it as well. But Metcha's always done it his entire career. He will drop as deep as he needs to, and he'll hold it up. So you can kind of play that 10 with the wingers pushing on higher. So it kind of works with him. and he'll run in behind. So yeah, it's interesting. I like it. It's good.
Demetrius looks like he's quite good at carrying ball, Locky.
Yeah.
Like on turn as well, because I've seen him a couple of, obviously just from pre-season, but just even in box, he looks like he's got he's dropped shoulder, and he looks like he can get a shot off as well, like a surprise shot off and stuff. It looks like a bundle of energy and a bundle of strength, really.
Yeah, he is. Honestly, mate, I've said this for a while now. If he didn't have his injury problems, he'd have been a quality striker in Europe. I really do believe that. We were at City when he was younger, and he came on in cup for them once, I believe. Went to Championship a little too early, weren't ready. Then went to Belgium, did really well under company, I believe. But then went to Germany and just had injuries. But when he played, and I didn't watch him, obviously. You hear that?
No, I don't think so. No.
Loudest car I've heard in my life.
I thought somebody was breaking in or something.
So did I. But I didn't watch him his time in Germany. I just watched him when we signed him. Got watched some stuff of him then. And every time he played, he looked good. It was never a matter of being bad or out of form. He always looked effective. He just always got injured. He always had 2 or 3 times a season where he just couldn't quite catch it. And Wolfsburg as well, they had some good strikers, some good attackers. So it was hard for him to get back into the team and get a run. What we've seen in pre-season with him, and obviously touch wood, it continues, he's looking sharp. He's not looked this sharp in, I don't know how long. I've not watched him for years, but I'm assuming he's not looked this sharp since his time in Belgium because he's not played. So a sharp Metcher for me is a really good striker in the Prem, in my opinion.
That'd be meant.
He's an interesting goal scorer, though. I will say that he's not going to get you 20 goals. He does miss some easy chances. He has scored a few, but he's never been clinical. He was decent in Belgium. He got a few goals there, but apart from that, he's never really been a crazy goal scorer, which is where Perot comes into it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've said it for, I don't know, however many years now, but we've needed a combination of every striker we've had at the club, haven't we? And but they're the top players out there. They're the ones you just, you can't get hold of in reality, And I don't actually think there's many of them about, is there? I mean, everybody's struggling for a 9, aren't they, at minute?
Yeah, they all cost 100 million.
Yeah, I mean, what do you reckon to that? I'm not even going to try. I've butchered everybody else's name, so I might as well just carry on. But that Gyökeres or whatever he's called, that's gone to Arsenal.
Oh, Gyökeres.
Yeah, Gyökeres. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. It's weird with him because he's done really well in his career. He's scored a lot of goals, but I think it's a weird one because the intensity of the Premier League's what always sticks in my head with players like that. I think he'll score. I think he'll get a few goals. Obviously, I think that's what he does. Like Perot will get goals. He will, but I think he might struggle at times. I do. I think the speed and the intensity of the Prem is completely different, especially with Arsenal as well. There'll be a lot of pressure on him in that team to score goals and be that man. I don't know if he is, but we'll see. He's a quality player, no doubt about it. But yeah, it's a hard one. Like you look at a lot of strikers come to the Prem and struggle. The only one that has come in and straight away hit the ground running in recent years, from what I can think of, there's probably more. It is Haaland.
Yeah,
because he's good at everything, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
Others tend to struggle or take longer. So yeah, what do you think?
It's just with my gut with him, but I just think he'll be a flop. I think he'll be underwhelming. Yeah. I think it's really hard. I just think he might be all right, but it's like also I think Arsenal have to change the way they play a bit as well because he's not. Everybody's banged on about this is what they need, but Arteta's not really been going out and he got Havertz and stuff, didn't he? He was not an out and out centre forward, and he gets loads of stick. If he starts missing a few chances, it's I don't know. I mean, Haaland. Everybody said that when Haaland got here, Man City just tie everything up at that point, and I think it's sometimes they look better when he's not there. So it's it is horses for courses really. And Haaland's obviously a wonderful striker, makes any team better. But you do when Man City have got a very particular way of winning games, haven't they? And although he can get involved, you're not really playing to Haaland's strengths. I won't say Haaland's at 100% of his capability when he plays in the Man City team. He's fortunate enough that at 80%, he's still an awesome striker, that'll get you shitloads of goals and play really well. He doesn't have to be involved, does he? He will get you loads of goals, but I
Yeah.
think it's difficult to do that, to not be
It's-
involved and then pick up loads of goals.
I think, mate, I think the Prem's, I think it's a wingers league now. I think it is
Yeah.
because of how quick and kind of direct it is. Not direct as in long ball, but quick
No,
as in
I know
how quick
direct
everyone
way of
attacks
playing.
it.
Yeah,
I think, like, you look at top goal scorers every year. There's a few strikes up there. There always is, obviously, but it's dominated by wingers
yeah,
every year because they're the guys that kind of get it in more dangerous positions. So that's why for us, I think it's so important that our wingers are spot on, and that's why I like our wingers. Don't get me wrong. I think obviously James Ramazani and Nonto are ridiculously good, but we need someone that is proven that they're this. Like Paishao was that guy. There's loads more. We bring in that guy, and yeah, it's looking good. I think, but
yeah.
it's just important. Wingers for me, I don't like. There's loads. I can just obviously Salah's the main example, but there's so many wingers every year. Bowen, for example, who finished not great with West Ham, got ridiculous goals last season.
Yeah,
The
it's
season
true,
before
man.
that.
Yeah,
Wingers are the one in the Prem for me, mate. Especially the way we play as well. That adds to it.
yeah. Because traditionally, Salah, Bowen, they'd be at a lower club. Like I remember Kevin Phillips that scored tons of goals for Sunderland in that season. You might be too young for that, Locky, but he got traditional like centre forward at like a lower club, like I don't want to say poor club because I think a few Sunderland fans watch this channel. I'll get loads of shit for it, but they were poor, just like West Ham have been when Bowen's got all goals. So you'd think they'd be the centre forward of old, really, because if you told somebody that didn't watch footy that Salah isn't the guy that traditionally would be getting all the goals, you'd be, because he's not Meno, is he? But he's ultimately the new centre forward, isn't he? I suppose.
Yeah,
Because all the goals go through him. Saka gets all Arsenal's goals, doesn't he? He gets tons of goals.
Yeah. It's always been the same. The last few years, it's got like that. I don't think that'll change, mate, because you're right. There's not football's weird. There's not a lot of centre forward. I remember doing with Joe like the scouting report looking for strikers. That was the hardest one to do because I'm watching a lot of strikers, and obviously there's a lot of talented strikers out there, obviously. But I'm thinking, are they good enough for the Prem? Can they match the intensity? Are they what we need? And the list was small. Like it is from what there's obviously people I've watched know a lot more players around the world, but even Andre was saying like there's not a lot here that I think are good enough. And then you put that to 20 teams in the league, they all need that. I look at was it Jimenez at Fulham, their striker? He was one of the top goal scorers in the Premier League. Chris Wood. These are the elite strikers in the Premier League that were getting all the goals. Do you know what I mean? And then you look at the wingers and it's Salah, for example, you've got all them guys. But the strikers, they're not guys you'd expect. They're not these huge names, Jimenez and Wood. Like, do you know what I mean? It's weird. The striker stuff weird. And then now you've got Gyökeres, you've got Ekatike. There's a few others coming in, big names. Let's see how they get on. Like you said, it's a tough one. It's a tough one for strikers at the moment in the Premier.
Obviously, Isak, he's a centre forward, but I'd argue Isak looks like he could do it out wide. Do you know what I mean? He's that type of lad. Do you know what I mean? Because when he is in wide positions, he's chopping it up in it. I mean, some of his best moments, like other than goals, are when he's out wide left and he's just beating players for fun and stuff. So he is a little bit of a winger come centre forward, and he's not like a hitman, for instance.
Yeah, a lot of his stuff is out wide. Like, he'll drift out wide, and that's where he creates. Obviously, not everyone, like Haaland's a freak. He'll just score goals wherever he is. There is elite strikers, but there's very few of them, I think, is the point. Like, it's a tough one. So the fact that and I know he'll have his weaknesses, and I'm excited to see him. The fact that we have a goal scorer in Peru who will score goals at any club, at any league, whether he's good enough for teams, obviously that's a big question. But whatever team he's in, he'll score goals. So I'm gonna say football goals then.
Same thing.
He'll score football goals. He'll score goals though, won't he? Like we've got that. And we'll need to use that 100%. Because Metcha can do all the deeper stuff, the dirty stuff, holding the ball up, digging in games and getting in behind. But we need goal score. I think that's one thing that I don't think spoke about enough. We're talking about how good our defence could be next year. We still need to score loads of goals to stay in this league. And one thing I'm worried about at the moment, not worried because I think we'll fix it, but you know what I mean? Right now, do we have a lot of goals? Obviously, Solomon got a few last year. You got Dan James. He won't get as much. How good will he be? Nonto, how consistent can he be? Our strikers, obviously, you're looking at Metcha, not a huge goal scorer, and you only have Perron behind him. Our midfield don't get loads of goals, do they? They'll chip in, but they don't get loads. Like, I think we need the winger we bring in, for me, needs to be a goal scorer, and the striker needs to be a goal scorer. Because I think we're just slightly lacking.
Yeah,
I don't know if you agree
I
or
would
not.
agree with that. To be fair, you need somebody that last year we were consistent, weren't we? And I don't want to talk about Somerville again, but we were like, although we were reliant on Somerville again, he was like the man that was going to get. And sometimes you do need the bit of selfishness. Like we were very even last year, which we complimented a lot, where it could go right, could go left. And we weren't predictable in that sense. But like you say, there were no like standout. I'll get you a shitload of goals. I know Peru got golden boot and stuff, and he got plenty of goals, but we're saying he will anyway. But it needs to come from all over the place, doesn't it? And we do need the centre mids. That's why, again, I think if we go 3 in centre mid, it allows one of them to really get on a lot. Because it's got overdone last year because we had the 10, and obviously Aronson's not a goal scorer. He's not good enough in front of goal, so he's not going to get double figures, is he? But if there's 3 of them in there and they're letting one of them go a lot, because the other 2 should give them a license to get, go get on edge at box, go try and meet something. They might pick up more goals. Like Longstaff nicked plenty of goals in his first few years for Newcastle. Like Tanaka's definitely, so much strikes on edge at box are like worldies. But hopefully they don't need to be that. They don't need to be edge at box world. It's just like meeting it, running onto it, getting timing right, Frank Lampard style. Like just giving them a license to get forward.
That's it. And then even the fullbacks like Goodmanson, he never in his career has not scored a lot of goals. Bogle's obviously scored a few. Bogle's pretty decent, but set pieces as well. We could probably get more goals this year from set pieces, which is definitely important. But we're just lacking that little bit of, like I go through each player and I think who could get between 5 and 10 goals in this league in the Prem. I think Perot could. Metcha probably could if he's fit. Nonto probably could. Ramazani, how much will he play? Maybe. Dan James, maybe. But there's not someone that I'm looking at going, this guy can get 10 to 15. Maybe Perot, but it's hard with Perot because we've never seen him in this league. We have no idea, do we? That's the thing.
He might catch us off guard.
Well. Yeah.
I think what you're saying, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Locky, but if Peru, however you say his name, if he does get 15 goals, I think that would be at the detriment to everywhere else. That's my worry with it. That's what you sort of, if he gets 15 goals, I'd be like, everything's going through. Well, this is the only way we're really getting goals. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, you want somebody in and of the self, like say, like a wide man that's going to get 15, 16 goals. And then you hope Peru gets minimum of 10 and then everybody else chips in and stuff. You want your standout goal scorer really from elsewhere.
That's it. That's it, mate. Yeah, I want that to be a winger, and I want that to be the wing we bring in. That's why I want to buy Shao, but I'm over him, I swear. Because it's like you're right though. Like if we are going through, if Perot gets that amount of goals, clearly that probably shouldn't be the case. You know what I mean? Nothing to do with Perot, just the way we play.
Yeah.
It's one of them. I just think we need. The striker we bring in needs to be decent, or because there's a lot of this, bring a striker in who can supplement, the team and get other people goals. But we need a goal scorer who can be supplemented. We need that. We need to bring that guy in because, I think Nonto can, I think James can, but I don't think they're going to get ridiculous numbers. I don't need ridiculous numbers, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I want someone that's of a level that's going to come in. Like Rafinha did, like Paixão probably would have done, that type of player who's going to come in and you can guarantee they will get you numbers. Because I just think we lack it. And that's not detriment to the other guys. Like, they're all quality.
No, I think it frees the other guys up. That's what we're saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's when then everybody else can start chipping in because you've got your guy that you've got our version of Salah, because he's not going to get them numbers because we're not going to be good enough. But then all the rest of them, he just gets you out of a lot of holes when, say, Peru's on a 5-game dry spell. It doesn't matter because your boy's getting, he's getting the numbers in. So you do need that. And then Peru gets through his patch and then chips in again and Metcha chips in and like you say, James, everybody centre mid start getting a couple. We start scoring from free kicks and corners, and there's just plenty of ways of getting goals on top of your Donny out wide that's getting shit ton of them. or just all rebounds and stuff from from his shots and from his terrifying defenders and moving the game around, isn't it? Changing it.
So putting a lot of pressure on this winger that we've not signed yet.
I know. It's I think because we've planned Pachawi, don't we? So we're like, it's done.
But it's like, do you know what I mean? Notice me. I like this squad. I've got a feeling I like this squad. One thing that when we went down, a lot of the team there was no there. I weren't bothered when they left.
No,
there's not a lot of connection. I feel like even if we're in tough times, I feel like I like this team.
Yeah,
I like the players. And if we don't win, it won't be through lack of effort or caring, not just because teams are very good. I feel like they'll put it in every game. They'll be decent. So, I'm going to fight. People are going to get annoyed with me this year, but I'm going to be, as I am anyway, I feel like I'm going to be quite positive on these players. I just like them. I think they want to keep Leeds in the Prem. I think you listen to the interviews, it's not been over the top. It's not been this, that. It's, we know our role. We want to stay in this league. That's all we care about. And they all know that. So they're in that fight. So I'm looking forward to being in that fight with them, mate. I can't wait. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's 100%. I'm staying positive because we're going to have some really dark days, and you just got to hope that we ride it out a little bit. And on the odd months where we're getting, we lose 2 or 3 games, and it's just like, I just don't. The start is so important, obviously, getting off to a decent start, but just not going on long runs and you just know that you're now a battering ram. And I just don't think they will. That's what you're saying. I trust the players to the level where I just think there's enough. I feel like there's enough leaders in there as well, and particularly bringing in all big lads like they have. And I know I'm banging on about long stuff like there's no tomorrow, but he knows what day it is in Prem, and he's not gonna be having it in middle, is he? Not that I think that's where we're strongest. So Tanaka and Ampadu, they're not going to have it. Stack's not going to have it. Gruev's not going to have it. To be fair, they know they'll put it in regardless. They won't shirk it, the opportunity. But I don't know. It's just people like that. I was so buzzing because it's like it's so important that we've got a strong shit house here.
Love it.
Cause in middle. I'm so excited about watching how that develops over the season.
Yeah. And I think we both agree. We're saying that in the sense that we don't think we're going to win every. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, there'll be tough times, but we know this team at a minimum will battle. They'll fight. Yeah. They'll be competitive. Obviously, we'll get battered. I mean, it happens. Every team gets battered. I think Brighton got battered by 7 last year as well, and they're a good team. It happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I think every week I'll be going into it going, right, we could get some here. There's a world where we can get some here. Yeah. Whereas last season we're in the Prem, just every week was like, can we just point? Can we just not get battered? And these lot will give me that feeling.
Just something to watch, innit? I remember being literally like, I'd be racing on from work, and that to come watch. I'd just think and sit down like, oh dear God, like do you know what I mean? Literally like dozing off. You just knew there was never anything going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It was. Yeah.
We'd have like a good 10 minutes, and then the rest. I remember like that's one thing. Like in the Jesse stuff, we had periods in games where we were actually all right, but then it just dropped off a cliff after like 10, 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Before or after that period of time, it just went bad and nothing happened. And then everyone shook. Everyone was scared to take a risk. You know what I mean? We had no mentality, did we, at all?
No. Well, there were a lot made of what happened at half time, wasn't it? With that Crystal Palace.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Yeah,
and like, I think it was Dallas who like nothing. And I actually agree with him. I know there's loads of rumors about what happened or whatever.
Should have, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they were just. That's what we were like. We'd come in and just be like, oh well, we're shit now, aren't we again? And it's like what you lie to yourself, you confuse yourself that you've got a bit left in locker, and then when somebody comes over and hits you, and you go, oh, I don't actually have it left. I don't want this, and they're just instantly.
That was like when that cow started on me and thing, thought I was buzzing, and then cow stands in front of you, and you're like, nah, I'm a little baby. I'm not a big man. Please don't hurt me. Yeah, people don't know. I don't think I explained that. A cow started on me when I did the 3 peaks. He stamped his foot and wanted to fight me. But yeah, it's like, I just imagine in that changing room, like when it's not going great, there's people like Longstaff, you know, Stack as well, who's played at a high level all his career. Biol, you know, international footballers like played at top leagues all their career. Them guys they're not gonna allow it to drop, are they? I don't think. Ampadu as well. I feel he's really matured into a proper captain.
Yeah.
These guys are not gonna let it. I don't think. Like we will lose. We will go on bad runs. We'll get battered. But these guys will not let the morale drop like it did on that final season. I just think they'll be ready and raring to go. Yeah.
And to be fair to like Pascal and Rodon and stuff, they've all got it all to prove, and they know they get the club. Rodon likes it here, doesn't he? Pascal's been here, he's been in the Premier, he'll want to prove himself. They're like, you don't have to be the best player or the most experienced player or whatever. You just have to be a player that knows what the club demands. Like, no, this is the minimum, and then we go from there. And then when you've got the players that have done it, and you've got that support, do you know what I mean? Because before you're looking at the players, like if you mentioned Ampadu, who I absolutely love. But if you didn't have the players that, you know, have played at the top level, you'd be like, well, if we're reliant on Ampadu, it's a little bit worrying. But when Ampadu's been supported by these top players that have come down now to try and cement us in Premier League, it gives him an extra step, doesn't it? You know, springing his step.
That's it. That's the good thing about the Longstaff one. You've got a player there who's had the career that Ampadu would love to have. 170 odd appearances in Premier League. Ampadu wants that. So he's always got that there. He's always got him talking to him, getting him through it. It's the same for like, and then you look at people like Strauch. He's been up and down with Leeds. Strauch will want to stay in the Prem now. He wouldn't want any of that championship stuff. He's 25, 26. He wants to stay in the Prem. You've got people like Biol. You know, these guys, the serious footballers, you know, they are top. They will want to stay in this league. And I look at the owners as well. And Farker, I always say this, his first press conference, he mentioned he wants another chance in the Prem. He's ready for another chance. He said that in his first press conference when we were in the Championship. This guy does not want to... Look, it might not work for him. But I like to think it can, and I like to think it will. And this guy wants this. You know, I think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see a bit more variety in him this season. I think he's not going to... He will be stubborn. He always is. Managers are. But there'll be a little bit more variety in the way we play. Everyone's going to be on the same level. Everyone's going to be on, you know, they know the role. They know what they need to do. They know what this season's going to be. They know it's going to be tough. They've all been saying it already. But they're not saying it in like a defeatist way. It's like, no, we know we're ready. And I love that. There's no kind of ego there. It's, we know what we need to do. Let's do it. And hopefully that can transfer into just getting the, you know, whatever points to stay in the league. And
super ready to have some ammunition with him as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's 100%. Ready to actually have, and we've got a team together. So I don't even at this point, as much as it is on Farker, I just think the whole thing's come together at this point. We look like we've got a decent start. You know, if we can get a proper decent winger in, somebody else up top, what other team would he manage in the Prem?
Yeah,
so, I mean, you've got a Premier League team.
It's a big chance for him, isn't it? He's got a lot. Like you say, he has, I guess, failed in the Prem, but the context is the team he had was shocking. He's now got a chance, like he said when he first came here. He wants to prove it. He's got that chance now. I think that's what, although we love the manager, if we do get this striker and this winger in, I think it's fair to say he's got a squad now to show us. Then, you know what I mean? Show us what you've been saying. So 100%, if our squad's there,
I think he will, Locky. I think if we do keep moving in window, we're having an outrageous window. I can't see any reason why Farker can't be. I'm not saying, I don't even think, I know obviously he will be aiming for the clouds, but I don't think he's got his head in the clouds. I think he'd be super happy to cement us in Premier League and then he'd be on his way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I genuinely believe that. I think he obviously he'd love to get us into Europe and stay with us for 6-7 years, but he knows that's not the reality. He's not, he seems like a pragmatic bloke himself. Do you know what I mean? He knows what day it is. So I think he knows his job.
Well, that's it, isn't it? For his career, this job was really important because, like you said, if he can just keep Leeds, even if he keep Leeds up, you know, that will give him stock. His teams in Germany will want him, you know, even in the Prem in the future, maybe, you know, if he does a solid job, keeps us up, maybe gets us 12th, 13th, 14th, you've got loads of options as a manager. If he fails again, that's really limiting kind of what level he can go at. So this is big for him, and he'll know that. He'll be 100% ready for this. He's been thinking about this moment for 2 years, I reckon.
Oh,
since
absolutely.
got
Yeah,
in.
he'll be desperate for it. He's also
he's
been
been
in that
backed as well.
situation. Sorry, Locky.
He's been backed, that's what I said, yeah.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's been in this situation where, like, Norwich, it was a miracle what he did at Norwich. When it was like, how's he done that up against Bielsa, and it were all like this thing, you know.
Yeah.
And then he got to Prem, and then he got lampooned for that coming back down. But it's like, well, the idea was Norwich getting up were never really on the cards anyway before Farke. So he had like that unfair. He got loads of acclaim, but then got really criticised for overachieving with them. Whereas now with Leeds, it's like we have to go up. So when we didn't, it were like, you're not doing your job if you don't get us up. And now he's like, and he's done that. So now he's like at his level. Do you know what I mean? And this is like where Norwich should have been at, really, or potentially, really, Norwich would have never got to this position that I feel like we're in the first place in any transfer market. So I think they've been really sensible with it. So
do you know why I link him to? It's slightly different, but there's a lot of similarities. Marco Silva at Fulham.
Yeah.
He failed. I think it was, I think one with Everton, and there might be another team. He failed in the Premier League. He was good at promotion. He got promotion, and he failed in the Premier League. Went to Fulham, got the backing. It worked out. He learned clearly from his previous experiences. A very safe club, you know, they backed him. Everything was calm. And it just every year now, it's just with them, just finishing top half or middle. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what Farke can achieve. I think he can do that. Everything has to be right for a manager at times. Sometimes behind the scenes isn't great. You don't get the players you want. There's no alignment with the recruitment team. But what we know now is Farke's got the players he wants, clearly. Still a few more to come in. But this is his chance as well. And I'm really hoping for this, because I listen to some people and like other Prem teams, and none of them stand him. They all think he's going to be gone by thing. Even a lot of our own fan base do, which is fair enough. But I really want him to do well, man. I like him. I really do.
I do. And like, honestly, that's why I'm comfortable with it, because I just think he has been. He's never going to find himself in a better situation than this, particularly if we'd have brought that Paxo Stuffing fella in, that would have been, you know, he'd have absolutely no excuse. But he's in uncharted territory really for himself, so it's exciting. But I just want to mention as well, because I have to in pretty much every video now, Locky. So Trafford's gone to Man City, hasn't he? And obviously it's been a long running joke with Joe about Trafford. So I don't think Trafford is going to do it at Man City. I thought Newcastle would be a better move for Trafford than Man City. Does he have Man City? All they need to do in net is distribute the ball, isn't it? Is he a distributor of the ball?
I don't really know.
I don't. That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know. Ask Joe. He knows everything about it.
Well, yeah. He's meant to be the best player in the world, isn't he? I understand that, but you know, it's distribution. He's definitely a good keeper. He'd have been better at Newcastle.
I agree, yeah.
Because he'd have had a bit more to do, and he'd have been less. You know, it's the unfortunate thing is Ederson has dropped off. It's unfortunate for me, because I think that gives Trafford a proper opportunity, because Ederson's looks like he's on the decline a bit, but he's definitely not better on ball than Ederson, is he?
No, surely not. I mean, no, he's a joke on ball, isn't he? That's that. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really watch much of Burnley, but I feel like he's quite simple, basic.
Yeah, Nick Popey.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You were a cock when he tried to kick a football.
It was a Renaissance ball, wasn't he? Yeah.
I think he's better than that. Probably more like just steady. I don't know though. Honestly, I can't tell you. Honestly, ask Joe. He's watched every game of him, so he'll be able to tell you about. I
don't. Again, you know, I wish him well or whatever, but I just don't think. It's just a shame. He's not better than Ederson. I can't. He might be now because Ederson's on the decline, but I can't have it that James Trafford's a better. Maybe I don't know.
What about our goalkeeper, Jack? What are you saying?
Perry.
Yeah.
Well, he's another unit, isn't he?
He's massive, isn't he? 6 foot
he is
5,
massive, him.
Big bald guy as well.
Have you seen that punch?
Yes.
Where it just sends it out. How wild is that?
I saw it. I went, like, what's the context? It looks like a normal game, and he just does it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long that'll wash for if he starts pulling shit out of a bag like that when we're sort of like 1-0 up away at Man United or something, and he's. It's like, no, don't mess about now. But it's like anything with football, like any Brazilian, it's like they've all got something up their sleeve, haven't they? It's like, well, I can punch ball 150 yards if you want.
They grow up playing like beach volleyball and stuff,
Yeah.
don't they? So that's probably where he got it from. And he
Yeah,
just thought, I don't know why just throw it.
And he looks like he's got a right throw on him as well, though, doesn't he? To be fair.
One thing I noticed.
And they're accurate.
You know what as well?
Throws.
One of them throws and Mecha. Oh, I can just see it.
Yeah.
Mecha's holding it up. Nanto's running off him. Get in. Direct. Love it.
Absolutely, Locky, yes. I'm dropping this on you, Locky, because somebody's put a super chat in, but who's the player of Paxo, which I'm presuming he means Paxo stuff in the that you want?
Let me have a look. 1 second. Of the level. Edon Zegrova at Lille. I mentioned him in the video. He's probably the closest. He's so good, but he plays on the right. He's probably the one that is closest to him. But I think he's got a Napoli, which again shows how good he is. So probably not going to get him. But there's someone like that. The Brazilian lads I mentioned are pretty good. There's a few, but sorry, I don't think any are as good as Paixão, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But look, this is it. Like as good as him now, but that's different to. Like these we don't know what he's like in Leeds shit. We'll never know. He's gone to Marseille. These guys come and play for Leeds and they could be outstanding. Do you know what I mean? So we can't compare it in a Leeds shirt. But yeah, he was the one. But yeah, there's a few. There's still loads of good wingers out there, mate. Not worried. Honestly.
Yeah, there's always been plenty of wingers, and I say it every other bloody week. But
yeah,
and I know they're not all to get to the absolute top level is very different in it. But
yeah,
there's always a plethora of wingers, isn't there?
100%, and there's some good ones. There's some really good ones. I mentioned some today, but yeah, I'm just looking through here now. Yeah, there's a guy called Hans Ganauf who plays for Frankfurt in Germany. But yeah, he played at the under-21s with Germany this summer. He's seriously impressive as well. But this is it. It's hard because I've been fixed on Paixão all summer. Yeah. I'm trying not to compare him to him, but in their own right, they're all very good wingers.
Absolutely.
We've been linked with that Bakwa. Didn't know much about him at all at Strasbourg, but I watched a bit of him last week. I wasn't watching him. I was watching Strasbourg for someone else, and they were playing. He's meant to be decent as well. Again, not as good as Paixão, but he's younger as well, and he's got higher, probably more to grow. So there's loads of players, mate. I'm not worried. I'm honestly not.
Yeah. You were saying as well in your video, like I don't want to keep you too long, man, but you were saying as well in your video, which I properly agreed with. It don't really matter whether we get a right or a left. It doesn't really matter what the preference is, does it? I know it obviously does to some extent, but the way we play, I know James is probably the only one that can't play on the left. I know he could do a job on left, but he's a right winger, isn't he? Like,
yeah, that's what. Because Nanto's played both his entire career, and even in pre-season, he's played both and looked good on both sides. I don't know what you think, but I prefer him on that left. I think he looks mint in there. Yeah. What I will say though, on the right, him and Bogle together are really good. But I think Bogle and James work in a different way as well. But yeah, that's what I like. Even Ramazani can play either side. So if Nanto is that starting on the other side or James, they can kind of fight for that left. Nanto can play on that left side with Ramazani, or Nanto can play on that right side with James. And we can kind of just bring in a top winger either side. So yeah, I think there's a lot of variety for that, which is good.
Yeah. Agreed, man. Just put this on screen. That is a wild super chat. It's got to be a record, that I think, Locky. So get your pint. Best show about no nonsense, just good footy chat. And then Arse Ripper's handed out a membership. So shout out to Arse Ripper, Render, and Mark Bradley for the wild super chat. Hold that out. It's crazy.
Go on, Mark.
But yeah, have you got any? What have you got going on at channel and that? Locky obviously releasing video after the 3-peak challenge. It's a mint video, honestly. Everybody go check it out. It's 15 minutes of genuine. Well, it's 20 minutes, but So if I say 15 minutes, people will be like, I've got 15 minutes. 20
I
20
try
odd
to
minutes
keep it
of
short.
genuine like analysis. And I love the start, Locky, when you first start your videos, you've got like, I like the likelihood that you think we can get them. I really like them bits, you know, where you like,
Colour scheme. Yeah.
yeah, I really like it, man, because it's like, these are the, because we could, you know, we could all name some players and then just have absolutely not, but you really strategically like, this ain't happening, but I've got to put him in the list or
I
whatever.
like
And then,
it, yeah.
yeah. So it's just, you know.
Well, to be fair, Pai Shao was I changed into he's dark orange and we nearly got him. So
well, I was just going to ask you where you had Pai Chow Onyx. That's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because that's, you know, that you didn't think that was necessarily achievable.
He was literally one of the least that I thought we could get. Yeah. There's a few that are dark orange in there. Bakayoko as well, who's gone to RB Leipzig, he were one. Yeah, there's a few in there. But yeah, I loved him, but he was one that I thought we couldn't get, honestly, all the way through. I didn't think we were going to get him. So there's loads that we can get 100%. We're in Prem, mate. We've got big pull. It's just yeah, we've just got to take our time with it. Now, I don't want us to rush into this decision, to be fair. I feel like we've got some decent wingers. If we have to wait a few more weeks for something to come up, I'm all right with that. I think we should focus on striker now. Unless there's obviously one that's there and we think we can get pretty quick. Get striker done, see what we can do on the wings.
It's weird, isn't it, how long transfers seem to be lingering on for. I know we missed out on Pachow. I know we missed out on him, but we've not had it I feel like, I don't know whether Mr. Underwood is like a people's person and he can just sort of keep these negotiations ongoing. Because even Longstaff, look, it sort of seemed like it fallen through and then we resurrected it and then we were getting him again because I thought, it's not happening, then it's happening.
Yeah.
But it all seemed to go on for ages, didn't it? It's like...
Yeah. Drags, done it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've not had that previous. I know we're at Premier League side now and players get spoke about more, don't they, basically?
Yeah, we're a bit... All Longstaff were weird because obviously there was an article that came out on the club were saying that they didn't like how public it got. Right, deal with it. It's 2025, you know. You know what it is, mate? We're used to Victor Orta, and I think Orta, he just got stuff done. Prices were always quite high, but he'd get them done.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Underwood's obviously, and the strategy we've got, there's a lot more negotiating. We want to get every penny. Really get a good deal for us and not get shafted by release clauses and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. I just don't like hearing it every day. I'd rather it be quiet and then it's, here we go. Do you know what I mean? I don't like hearing bid rejected. We'll go in a few more days with another bid. That bores me. That I just want to hear, oh, deal close. Right. Good. That's kind of what I like about it. But it's just a bit jarring. Like the whole Longstaff, it just went on for weeks. Like we're haggling over 4 million. I don't want to hear that. I don't care. Leave that bit out and just tell me when we've agreed a fee, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we get blamed for that, content creators, for some reason, but
Crazy.
I only read stuff that comes up in the bullshit world of the bullshit. Do you know what I mean? I'm not making it up. It's not, I'm not saying that all Leeds have had a bid rejected for Longstaff. Like, I've never lied. Do you know what I mean? You don't even know if it's true anyway. That's my worry with stuff.
Yeah. It is. There's loads of it going around, and then it's all rubbish, mate. It's all rubbish. It's all a bit too much. That's why I just keep myself to self and I just talk about players I like.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
It's hard to keep up. It's like players. You know, there's a lot of players get mentioned, and it's like if you're honest. I mean, you know a lot more, well, indefinite amount of players than I do, but it's like I'm not going to pretend to know who these lads are. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'll mention them or whatever, but it's like if I don't know, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
That's it, mate. And look, I like Biol. I know next to nothing about. Metro, I knew a little bit about from when he was younger. Goodmanson, not a lot at all. You know, who else have we signed? My brain. Obviously, Longstaff we know about. Stack I knew a bit about. But yeah, Bornau, nothing. You know, really. So it just comes through just watching. Once I hear the name, once it gets to the stage where it looks like it could happen, I'll watch a game or two, and that's where it comes from. But like Pai Shao, I watched Eredivisie last year, so he was one early September. I was messaging Andre going, I need this guy. So that's why I'm more gutted with him because
that'd have been the new Tanaka, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, definitely, mate. Tanaka, man. I can't wait to watch the Premier League. Just
No, it's gonna be mint. It's gonna be mint to see. But yes, so thank you, Locky, for your time. Everybody's obviously very complimentary in the chat of you. Jack says you need to bring the scoring system back.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right, Jack. Because I give like a rating for each part of the signing, but I've just been busy, mate. It's just been, I've got my list here that I've had for ages. I've just been putting them into videos. But yeah, you're right. In January, look, if we'll do some January vids, I'll bring some scoring back.
Yeah. I didn't mean to put that on you. I just thought.
No, he's right. Yeah, I've been lazy, to be honest. I've been.
He's not lazy, dude. Behave. It's hard. The thing is, it's also really hard. You know, you are busy doing your own stuff as well, and it is all on top, isn't it? And then you got to put the video together and stuff. It's not a doddle, is it? It's not 15 minutes work. Do you know what I mean? It's like.
And you know what it is as well? I didn't expect to do a winger video because I thought we were going to get by shout. So that kind of got done. Like I did that this morning. I did the entire thing this morning, then released it this afternoon. So, but yeah, no, I need to do I do enjoy the scoring thing. It's good for me as well. It helps me think, but that's kind of what I made the list for with the colours, so you can kind of see through there what they are. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have alt planned coming up, Locky?
No, mate. I can't. I just plan whenever I can, when I feel like doing something at the moment. Our plans obviously once watch the friendly next week, and I'll probably do a bit of analysis around that. Now we're getting into end at pre-season. I think it'll show how we're going to play in season. So I'll do a bit of some breakdowns on them friendlies maybe and see what we're going to play like. I'm going to do a midfield video at some point, just talking about, like we have today, just talking about our midfield and just going through all the stats in the seasons and all that. So probably then, but I don't know when, honestly. I'll just do it whenever, to be honest.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, top stuff. Cheers for coming on, Locky. I honestly do appreciate it, man. You always give me loads of your time. So honestly, everybody, I know, like I say every time as well, that everybody that watches this will definitely watch Locky. But if you don't, you simply must. So go over to Locky Leeds and subscribe and drop him a comment and all that jazz that you're all brilliant at doing.
Well, I just want to ask Jack, where are we finishing? I need a.
I've said aim for 11th, finish 15th. But now, if we keep going, if we'd have got this Pashal fella, our like it's 10th. We can get, I'm actually like aim for 11th, get 10th. But now I'm only playing. I still think even if we bring in a big winger, I still think instead of aiming for 11th, we can aim for 9th and finish 14th. Because I don't think there's much of a difference really. I think we could have there'd probably be about 9 points in between being 10th and being 15th. Yeah. So it's not really that. That's what I'm saying. We aim for 11th, have them in your sights and finish 15th comfortably, which it'll be a brilliant season for us. That we'll have won loads of games, and it won't feel like a 15th finish, will it? It'll feel like we've give a really good account of ourselves because the packs are very separate out there now. So.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And I'm hoping that Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool just run away with it and just
get more points.
Yeah, and just kill everybody off so that even if it's to the detriment of us getting on end of a bit of an hiding, if you can pick up a random point against Arsenal, that'll do me, and then beat everybody else. Not everybody else, but they beat
everyone else.
They beat everybody else. Yeah, it's like, that's not where the league's going to be. That's not how we're going to stay in the league, is it beating them 3 teams. So they can run away with it for me. And I don't want any Nottingham Forest I don't want any of them anywhere near competing with anything. I want them all like in the 10th to 15th fight that we're all like. You know what I mean? Just get everybody in with us. And just have it. Like,
love that.
Where do you think we finish, Locky, now?
I'm originally I was very much just above. I'm still probably just above, but a little bit more. See, I reckon if we can get anywhere like 13th to 15th, I'm so happy with that. I think 17th is a bit like, it's a bit too edgy for me. It's a bit like nervy all season. You're not that great. You just kind of, but if we can just kind of linger around that kind of middle to bottom half, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll be happy
That's
with that.
what I mean. You're well out of it. If you're 15th, you're well out of it. We'll be nowhere near them, but 17th is getting. I know it's obvious in terms of the numbers, but I just mean you're in the relegation. I don't even think 16th will be in relegation battle this year. It's mad. It used to be a case where there were loads could go down and loads could stay up. But having said that, I don't think the bottom three will be as bad as they have been this year. I think Sunderland will actually have a pretty good go at it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Burnley will go down.
Yeah.
Which is good because you need somebody to be bottom at league, don't you? So
yeah, you do. Yeah.
So we're starting at 19th already, and then you just got to work your way.
It's gonna. This is it that you don't know what these other Prem teams are gonna be like, do you? Because obviously people talk about Brentford. I thought this is how I work. I still think when they've sold all these players, I still think they're going to bring in some more really good ones. But it's how the manager
I still think
works.
they'll be decent.
Yeah, it's how the manager works, and that's the thing. You've got Wolves. How will they? West Ham. How will they get on? Forest this year. Fulham have been decent for the last few years. Do they have a bit of an off year? You just don't know, do you?
No, you can't. What you definitely can't do is go off last year and go, well, Fulham were excellent last year. It's like, well, yeah, but it only it's not hard to get stuck in the dross. No. And teams like Fulham traditionally do that. So you just need, that's what I'm saying about the top clubs that are never going down. I do not want, as much as I'd love Man United to be in a relegation battle, they're not going to be in it. So I don't want Tottenham 16th and Man United 17th. Yeah. It's pointless. They need to be, I want them to have a really bad season and finish 9th. Do you know what I mean? Just get out of the way. We don't want, because if we're in a relegation battle with them, we're going down, aren't we?
Yeah.
We need to be, we need a massive separate league to play in, don't we? And no messing about. Like Palace, teams like Palace, they're just, I think West Ham will be all right. I think Everton will be all right as well, to be honest, this year. I don't know why, but I just think with Moyes, I think Everton will be all right.
Yeah.
It's just a few teams that you just think, Sly thinks Burnley will stay up, but Sly doesn't like Leeds very much, I don't think. So.
If Burnley stay up and we don't, God, what's going on there, honestly?
Scott Parker, innit? It's that Scott Parker effect.
Yeah. Man. Oh.
But yes, Locky. So thank you very much for coming on, dude, and shout out to everybody. Shout out to one more time for Arse Ripper, Render, LUFC, and Mark Bradley for the crazy super chat. Shout out to everybody that watched, like, subscribe, and all that stuff, and go follow Locky Leeds.
Cheers, mate.
Take it easy, everybody.
See you later, everyone.
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is.
Boom.